Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Modsauce 2. I am your host, Renovate. And yeah, guys, we have not recorded in quite some time on Modsauce. And there's a pretty good reason for that, and I'll explain that later. But hopefully, you guys have enjoyed the series so far. If you did, click that like button on any of the videos, not just this one. And also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so I can let you guys know when I am uploading videos. And so yeah, guys, this is going to be episode number 26, and I think it's going to be a three-parter, and I'll explain why, like I said, in a little bit. But I just wanted to say thanks everybody for watching this series, and hopefully you enjoy this episode. So let's get started. Okay, guys, one of the things I wanted to talk about was this whole Minecraft Modsauce 2 season. I think we're on episode number 26. I was hoping to get to 30 episodes, which would have been my longest series that I've done personally. And I thought that'd be kind of cool, but I don't know if we're going to make it. We might be able to stretch it out. But I want to go out with kind of a bang, and I couldn't really think of a way to do it that would be kind of cool and fun for everybody. It might be not fun for some people that actually like what we do on here and how we build and stuff, thinking it's really cool. I've even seen people that actually want the world download file so that they can actually go in and see all the stuff that we've done, which I think is pretty cool. I've never seen somebody ask for that, so I think that's cool. So we might be able to set that up. I'm not sure. But yeah, guys, I wanted to, we spent a lot of time on immersive engineering, and we got through that. Just the basics. I mean, I just do enough where you guys can get started and explore on your own. I really didn't want to make Modsauce 2 one of those series where I have to explain everything down to the minute detail, and maybe we will do that on another series, but on this one I just wanted to enjoy it. So one of the last mod packs, and it was actually added in one of the most recent updates, is Nuclear Craft. And Nuclear Craft actually introduces a bunch of new ores, and introduces two new ways of making power, the fission reactor and the fusion reactor. And I think it introduces some armor, I believe, if I remember correctly. I thought I saw some armor. So there's alloy leggings and some new tools and weapons, and you can see all this cool stuff here. But one of the things that it would allow us to make is this right here, a nuke. And if you look, it's got really weird crafting recipe right here, see? And which is great. But you're probably wondering why it's a 4x4 square instead of the typical 3x3, and I'm going to explain that here in a minute. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Instead of me spending some time, I know that Dragon Fu and Thor might be. I know Dragon Fu is. He's right now going through, or did, the whole nuclear craft thing with the reactors and stuff. So, and I don't know if Thor is or not, but he might be. But instead of going through the power generation, because we've spent quite a few mod reviews, I guess, coming up with ways of making power, and I think we've exhausted that avenue. So I wanted to make something that would allow us to go out with a bang, and that would be a nuke. So we're going to spend maybe 1, 2, or 3 episodes making a nuke, and we're probably going to sit it right there. And we're going to let it go off. And that's going to be our final episode for Modsauce 2. But don't worry, we got more stuff coming up, which is good. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So let me get a couple things, like usual. And we will start with the basics. And I'll explain a couple things. And we'll start making some stuff. Okay, be right back. Alright, guys. So in order for us to get to a nuke stage, which is what we were wanting to make. What we were wanting to make. Man, that's a lot of W's right there. One of the things that we need to do is make this thing right here. It's a heavy-duty workspace right here, and it's a 4x4, as you can see. And the reason that it's 4x4 is most of the items that are in Nuclear Craft require a 4x4 crafting grid, which is special just to Nuclear Craft. So if I click on like the decay hastener, you can see that it's got a pattern that's 4x4. The nuke has a pattern that's 4x4. So basically all of them do. And in order to make this, if I click over here on the recipe, it's just a regular crafting recipe, and it uses basic plating, which is just lead and some charcoal. It or coal. It can be pulverized or whatever. And then the other item is tough alloy blocks, or tough alloy ingots. Well, the way to make the ingots, it's kind of complicated. You got to have the dust, and the dust is made from using 2 iron, 2 bronze, and then 2 lead, 2 coal, and then this universal reactant. The universal reactant is made by crushing lapis, adding sugar, and some redstone, and you get 4 of those. So I went ahead and made a bunch of that stuff. And so I went ahead and made this right here, so which is right here. And then that allows us to craft basically everything that's in nuclear craft. One of the things that we're going to need to do is make, if I show you on the the crafting recipe, we got these reinforced platings. We got tons of gunpowder from our mob things from a long time ago. But there's different ways that we can make this. We can make it using plutonium 241 or plutonium 241 oxide, right? Well, in nuclear craft, there's all kinds of elements that you can use for these fuel cells, and these fuel cells are based on the different, whether you use fusion or fission, but this is the fuel that you use to start the reactor and keep it going. And each one of these, if I click on like the tritium cell, it's going to show you all this cool stuff here, but if I click on the tritium, if I go over far enough, it's not going to show it, figures. It should, let's see, I want to show what the burn rate is on it. It's not going to tell that. Maybe I have to click on the fuel. Let's check this. Maybe it's these. Let's click. What is this used for? Will it tell me? There we go. This is what I wanted to show you. So, like on this one, the HEP 239, which is a combination of some of these other elements up here. We got lithium and plutonium. There's thoron. There's uranium, lithium, boron. What's the other one? Silver, lead. There's a bunch of different stuff. But it tells you right here that the base power is 1350 RF per tick. The lifetime for that generation is 1250 seconds. The base heat is 840 per tick, and then the base total energy right here is going to be 33,000. And then that's based on a 1x1x1 reactor. So, and it shows you here that it goes up. So this will all go up based on how big your reactor is. So you can make a 3x3, a 5x5, a 7x7, and on and on and on. And as you build bigger reactors, it requires more and more ways of keeping the heat down. So the goal is to keep the heat down, because if the heat gets too hot, it's going to explode. So we have 2 ways of making our base go away with a big, nice boom. So we can either make a nuke, which is my plan, or we can make a reactor and let it fail, which I don't want to do. That's a little bit more messy, in my opinion. That's kind of a fail. But we're gonna go ahead and try making the reactor. Yep. So one of the things that we need to do, like I said, to get started is we got to start making the stuff for the reactors. And I think right around here is the reactor casing. So you can see here, even though it's a 3x3 pattern, we actually need to use it in the heavy workspace. So this is the stuff we're going to be making right now. And I already have a little area here set up. So this is a 5x5, and this is where our reactor is going to sit. We're just going to do a 5x5. It shouldn't take too much. And the reason being, if I go back to the nuke requires plutonium 241. Now, why is that so hard to get when you can just go mine plutonium right as we have it? And like I'll show you here, I went to the nether and we mined plutonium. Well, this plutonium is 239. Why can't I use this? Well, I'll show you why. Let's put that back in there. If I click in the NEI and I click on the plutonium 239, let's just see what it creates. Creates a plutonium 239 big clump. Well, what can I do with it? Well, I can make 239 fuel, or I can make nothing. So if we click on this, what does that make? Well, that makes a 239 fuel cell. Well, that's great. What else can it do? Nothing. I can break it down into plutonium 242 and 239. That's about it. I can also break it in or oxidize it and make an oxidized form, which is a more efficient form of fuel. So we're going to want to do this anyways. But I was just showing you there's really nothing I can get from that. Now, if I go back and we saw a plutonium 242, well, can I get 241 from 242? Let's see. If I click on it, there's crafting recipes that use a 239 and a 242, and I go back to a 239 and a 241. Well, how do I get to 241? I gotta have two 42s and a 241. That's what we're trying to get. So that's not gonna work. Here's a 39 and a 241. Well, these all require the 241s that are already there. So here's 241. Can't do that. Here is 241 oxidized, and these are all 239s and 242s. So there's really nothing I can do with the 242 other than breaking it down into itself or some lower base element. But this is the only one that we could probably get, but I would still need this. If I click on that, there's really no recipe of getting that because I have to have the 241. See, there's nothing in here that's got anything other than 241. So the only way to get this is to go, if I click on it, it takes an HEP and an empty cell to make this. If I click on this, it takes 241, 242s. So how am I going to get the 241? So let's go back to the 241. Here's 242, here's 239, here's 241, right here probably. Here's 241. So if I go over to this, the oxidizer, we get the 241 oxide and the plutonium 241. How do I get the 241? That's what we're trying to find. So let's go to this, and then this, and then if we keep going, it's going to show us, I think, how we get that. I'm trying to get to, I think, this. Let's see, no. I think we're going into circles. There's a way of getting it where it's depleted. That's what I'm trying to get to, is the depleted ones. Okay, it was right on my nose the whole time. I was just talking too much. If we click on the plutonium 241 and then you look at the small lumps, this is what we're trying to get, the small lumps. So if I go to small lumps, you see a depleted 239 fuel cell. If we get the depleted 249 fuel cells in an isotope separator, I'm going to start getting these small lumps of 241. That's what we need. So from one fuel cell, I'm going to get a bunch of the plutonium 242s, but I'm also going to get a bunch of the small, or about a quarter of the small ones. So that's what we need to do. How do we get the depleted 239? We put it in a fission reactor. This is easy to make. This is what we have right now. We just need to make fuel cells out of it, and it's going to deplete it for us when all the stuff's been used out of it. So this is what we're going to be doing. So we need to make a fission reactor after all that talk. That's what we need to do. So we're going to start making some casings. I'm going to make those, and when I get back, we'll start making our reactor. Be right back. So I figured up, hopefully my math is right, on a 5x5 by 5. I think we need somewhere like 98 blocks. So I went ahead and made 100, actually 104. So here is our reactor casing. And then the next thing we're going to need to build is our controller right here. So the controller requires tough alloy ingots, basic plating, and then some reinforced plating. Now, in order to get the reinforced plating, we need to take 4 of these, and it gets us a reinforced in the enrichment chamber. And I don't know if there's a different way of doing it. I guess you could do it this way, but that wastes tough alloys. So let's go ahead and put it in our enriching chamber, which I think I have up here. Here's our enriching factory right here. Let's turn off the export. Auto eject is off. Awesome. And let's see what happens if we put 1 in there. Nothing. 2, 3, 4. Here, we don't want it to auto sort. So let's do that. There we go. So it takes 4 to make 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we did 5 in that one. And I think we needed, let's see, let's count how many do we need. We need fission controller. We need 8 of them. So let's see if we have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't, so we need to make a couple more, which these things are pretty easy to make. It's just lead and pulverized coal. So let's go back. I was making these already, so let's type in coal. Let's grab some of this. Oh, poop, like that. And then let's put that back in the system and click these. There's 28, that'll make us 7 more. That's plenty enough. So let's go ahead and put these in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll give us 9. That's more than what we need. So let's take these, and I think we have enough to do the whole pattern. So let's click on this. Hopefully it'll allow us to do this. I haven't tried this yet. It will not allow us to do that, right? I I got 8 and 4, and I have plenty enough, so I don't know why it would put a question mark there if I can't put it in. So we need to do like this. Awesome. And then these here, and then these on the outside, right? Yep, there we go. Awesome. So there's our fission controller. So now we need to make something called a, it's right here, fuel cell compartment. So we need to look at this and how to make that. So basically the same thing, but it requires glass. And since our reactor is only 5 tall, that means the inside of it's only going to be 3 tall. We only need to make 3. So let's grab some glass. Awesome. Let's jump back down here. And let's go ahead and do this. And that's still not going to work. Awesome. So let's do that. And then let's see if we got this correct. That's usually what it is, and these things go on the outside. Nope. Crap. Now I gotta take this all out, because if I click off of this, it's like the old vanilla ones, crafting tables where they don't show. There, it's got more of those. It doesn't keep the items inside the crafting table. I hate that. So let's take that, put the glass in the middle, and then these on the corners, and there we go. We got 4 of them. That's all we need for that whole thing. So cool. So what I want to do here is I actually want to take away our floor. Yeah, awesome. And there, and then here, and then whoops, didn't want to jump down there, and then here. Awesome. So let's go ahead and start building our block, and let's see if this thing will actually say anything to us. So let's do that, that, and that, that. And since this is a multi-block structure, I'm guessing that it's going to form something that looks similar to something. You know, like when you do the big reactors and everything joins together and it looks cool. So you need to do that. Like this. Let's break, oh, we don't need to break that one. So let's do that, and then here. We need to leave a hole though for the controller, and a way to get in and out, of course. So yeah, between videos, when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to record, I lost complete power to everything, and my ME system completely shut down, which was kind of weird because we haven't had any updates or anything. So none of my stuff was working. It was a pain in the butt, man. So we don't need that one. Yeah, and then we need to leave a way in. So I'm going to put the controller like right here. So let's go ahead and put our controller here. Like so. Let's see if it tells us anything. Why won't it let me do that? There we go. Bam. Click here for help on the mod. So see, it doesn't tell us anything. But what it actually means is I literally like click here. So if I click there, it says, are you sure you want to open this in the following website? And it takes you to a website and it tells you everything you need to know about nuclear craft. So if you're playing this or you're wanting to learn how to do it, click that little thing. It's really cool. So if we click on this, this is going to tell us that it doesn't have any, the casing is incomplete, it doesn't have any fuel and all this other stuff. So I know it's incomplete. So we need to go in here and we need to put these casings in here. So let's put these compartments like that. And then the next thing we need to make sure that this thing doesn't overheat is cooling cells, which are these reactor coolers. And these aren't that hard to make. I think we still have some universal reactant up here in the system. If we don't, I'll make some real quick. But let's just cross our fingers that we do, because it was a pain to make. And we have a bunch of it. Awesome. So let's grab a bunch of that. Let's put all this unnecessary crap in our system since I don't need it. Gunpowder, I don't need that, and that. I don't need a tesseract. So yeah, that's pretty much everything right there. Awesome. Let's go down here and make a cooling cell. And what was the recipe for that? So we need the reactant and then just the plating on the outside. So let's do our plating first. Okay, so there's our final result on the crafting pattern is reactor cooler. So that's what we need. I think 4 is going to be enough. It might be more than enough. So this is a small reactor. So let's go ahead and put this in here like this. And I'm just going to put them here on the sides like so. And then I'm going to close this bad boy up. So let's close it up and see if it tells us that we did something right. So it's telling us that the casing is incomplete. Why is it incomplete? It's a 5 by 5, right? Did I count that right? Okay, let me check on something real quick. Be right back. Alright, so one of the things on the casings, the reactor casings, basically it's a diameter type thing. So if the interior is 3 by 3 by 3, you just need to surround that 3 by 3 by 3 blocks with blocks. You don't need the ones on the corners and stuff. The only problem is I set this up so that it was in the floor, and the one thing that you need to do is I think you need to put this actually at the bottom, but we'll see. We might be able to put it at the top. No, we don't. So it requires that this fission controller is actually in the bottom, which sucks because we've already set this up, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So if I put this down here, it still says it's incomplete, but if I put this here, now it's going to say it's a 3 by 3 reactor. Now if I put too many reactor upgrades in here, it's going to say no. So the only thing we did is we upgraded it once from a 1 by 1 to a 3 by 3. So that's how that's going to work. So we'll dig this out. We'll just leave that empty like that. I know it looks kind of goofy, but it'll work for right now. So the next thing we want to do is decide what fuel we're going to use to get this thing powered up. And the one thing that we're going to use is our plutonium, right? So we need to get our plutonium-239 and make fuel cells out of it. Now, how do you make fuel cells? So that's the thing we need to see. So let's go ahead and look at our 239 fuel cells right there. There's the HEP version and the LEP version. If we click on this, we need an empty cell in this LEP-239 fuel. Now the empty cells are just made by taking iron plating. It gives you a bunch of these. Iron plating is just like this. It gives you 32, so you'll get a lot back out of that. So, but to make the fuel, we need to take the ore version that we got and make a bunch of this, and it makes one of these. So we need to take all that plutonium that we have, and we need to make these bigger ones. But what we want to do is make the oxide version, because it's a little bit more efficient. So I don't know if it's got actually an oxide version in here. I don't see an oxide version, but we can just use, it might not really matter. So we need to we'll make a couple of fuel cells real quick, and we'll start this, and then we'll end the episode as a part 1, and then the next episode we'll fire it up. So let's go ahead and make our cells. So let's get the plutonium that we had. Plutonium, there it is right there. And we need to take these and put them like this. And that's going to give us a bunch of these big ones. So that only gives us 36, which isn't very many. So now we need to take these 36, and I think we go like this, and that didn't work. So let's take these back out. So yeah, the plutonium is not going to work the way we thought it would. You actually have to do a bunch of other stuff to get the plutonium that we need. And I know I've been going through the NEI and showing you guys stuff, but let me just show you how we're going to get there. And I've actually written it down, so this will go really fast. First of all, we've mined a bunch of crushed uranium. You can also get crushed uranium through yellowite. If we take the crushed uranium and we put it in an isotope separator, it's going to give us uranium-238, the big ones, and then uranium-235. If we take these and combine them together, it's going to make us an LEU. It's going to be right here, LEU, or we can make, I think we can make the HE version. Yeah, we can make the HE version of the fuel cells. Now, it doesn't matter which one we use, HEU or the LEU, but I think we'll go with the HEU because of where this is eventually going to go. So if we make these, and then we actually make fuel cells out of them, like this, and then we put them in our generator, it's going to give us a depleted HEU-235 fuel cell. Why do we need that? Because if we take this and we put it in our isotope separator, we're going to get that plutonium-242 that we need, and we're going to get back the uranium-238. Now that's with the HEU. Now let me check on something real quick. If we go over here and we click on this, if we take the LEU version and we do the same thing, we go over here, and it gives us, actually we want to go to the depleted version. The depleted LU-235, let's see if it gives us the same thing. It gives us the plutonium-239. That's not what we need. We actually need the plutonium-242. So we do need to make the HEU version. So that's what we're going to go for. So how do we get that again? If we go back and look, if we take our isotope separator with our crushed uranium, we're going to get a bunch of this. So let's just go ahead and do that first. And I have a bunch of it already polarized up. And we're going to go ahead and do this. So let's put this in here. This is the boron I got. I didn't know if we're going to need that or not. So this is going to separate this for a little bit. I want to actually go back and grab a bunch more uranium because we're going to need it. Let's grab all the uranium out of here. And if we run out of uranium, we actually have another uranium ore. But I think this is going to be enough. And if we run out of that, we got a bunch of yellowite, which does the same thing. So let's go ahead and put this in our enrichment factory. And let's put this in here. And that's going to turn it into the crushed version. So let's go back down here. And let's grab these. And so, yeah, we're getting little clumps and big clumps. So that's cool. So while that's doing that, let's go ahead and make the empty fuel cell. So let's find out what the empty fuel cell pattern is. Here's an empty fluid cell. Is that what we need? Or is it a fuel cell? Let's check. Right there. And we need an empty cell, which is made by the iron platings. Like I said, we have a bunch of that. Actually, we didn't put it back in our system. So we go in here and we go iron plating. It's right here. And we're just going to go like this. Actually, let's put that there. Let's just split it up evenly. For some reason, I didn't make it. That's plenty enough, I guess. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and keep that. So we got those ready. So I think what we want to do is go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and grab some of this. And let's just go ahead and put... I actually need a crafting table down here. I don't know if I could use this as a standard crafting table or not. Let's check. I think you need 8 of these. No, it's not going to let us do that. So let's put all these back. That's fine. Let's get us a crafting table. Let's put these with that. And I think we need to do this. There we go. So these are the 235s. This is the 238s, and these are the 235s. But as you can see, all that only made one. And if we go to the ones that we want to make, the HEU version right here, it's made by using the 233 version. Did I click on that right? That's the 233. We got the 230 right there, HEU 235. We need to have 4 of the big ones just to make one of these, and then the rest of them are the small ones, or the regular uranium. So we're going to need to make a bunch of this. So this is going to take a little bit of time. So let's just go ahead and do this. We might have to speed this up somehow. We'll figure it out. Because this thing can only do so much. And I don't think there's any upgrades I can put in this. There might be a speed upgrade. Let's see. Is there speed upgrades for this thing? Here's a speed upgrade. Lapis and iron plating. Let's try that. Let's go ahead and get some of those and see if this works. Speed upgrade. Whoops. Yeah, that doesn't work, so I don't have... There we go. Oh, you got to do it in your heavy duty workbench. So let's grab a stack of that. And let's go ahead and make some more iron plating. Why am I grabbing that stuff? There we go. Let's go ahead and make 1, 2 of those. And let's put them down here. So let's go bam, bam. And then, actually, I think these go in the middle, like so. Can't do that many. And let's go like that, like that, like that, and like that. And I don't know how many we can actually make, but we'll see how this does. Oh man. Oh man, that's fun. That's exactly what we needed. I don't think we can do 16, can we? No. That's really cool. That's gonna do that in no time. So let's put these away. We don't need any of that. And you know what? Let's go ahead and see if we can get a chest. Let's see if we have a chest already in our system. I don't know if we do or not. We might. Let's see. We just got a regular chest. That's probably gonna be fine. Let's just do a regular chest. Because we only got one item here. Oh, geez. There we go. So let's put this chest right here. And let's see if we can get an item pipe. Item conduit. And there's an item conduit right there. Let's see if this is going to work. I don't know if this will work or not. It does. Cool. So let's pull out of extract. We don't need redstone signal. Active, always active. And we want this to go insert and see if it's going in there. Awesome. That's cool. So that's working, but it's not pulling out the bottom one. It's only pulling out the top one. There it goes. Pulls out the bottom. All right. Let's let that do that for a couple minutes, guys. Let's get a bunch of it made, and then we'll get some of our fuel cells ready, and we'll probably end the episode there. Be right back. So we got all our stuff made. Went through it really fast, and as you can see, I already got it broken down, but we don't really have that much of the 235. So let's go ahead and click on the HEP 235 fuel right there and see. It's not going to show us. That's awesome. So let's click on that again, and basically it's showing as 4 here, and the rest are the normal ones. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's take this and go like this, and then let's take the rest and fill these in. There we go. So we got 235 fuel. We got 12 of them there. Let's make some more. Boom, boom, boom. There's 16, and then we're gonna run out of these. That's not good, but that's okay. We can make more. So there we go. So we got all those. So next thing we're going to want to do is put that in there, and then we're going to want to take these and set them in like this, and this is going to give us our HEU 235 cells. This is exactly what we need. So we got 25 of that, or 21 of those. So if we click on this and we put one of these in there, it's going to show us that we have tons of heat, right? So we need to actually break this, and hopefully this thing has turned off. It is incomplete. We actually need to make a switch or a lever, because I think the lever allows us to turn it off, and I don't have one. Figures the most easiest thing that we could make. So let's get this, and we need a piece of cobble, and we need a stick. Do I have a stick? As you guys know, I usually don't have sticks at all, but we do. We don't. We do. We have a stick. Awesome. There we go. Got a lever. That's all we needed. So let's go down here and put this, I think, right there. So let's put this on here. Let's look at this again. It's going up pretty quickly, and then let's got this. And the heat is going back down. So what we want to do is put more of those cooling cells in there. As you can see, we do not have enough cooling going on, so we need to make some more of those cooling cells. So let's go up here, and let's look at what the recipe was for these cooling cells. So it was a lot of this stuff, basic plating. So let's see, did we have any basic plating left? Basic, we had 5 left. That's clearly not enough. And we also needed, don't need that. What was the other stuff? Universal reactant. So let's try the universal reactant. I know we had a bunch of that, so we do. Awesome. Let's just grab all of that. And let's go ahead and make some more basic plating. Here's 28. That should be enough, I think. So let's go down here, and then let's look at the recipe again. So we need the 8 on the outside, and everything else is the other stuff. So let's try that. Right there, and then let's do it one more time. We have 12 left. I can do it one more time. Get rid of that one. And then we need to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then let's fill that in the middle. So there's 12 of them. That's actually more than we needed. I forgot you get actually 4, or all those back. So let's stick some of these in here. And let's try that again. There we go. Let's stick these like, I didn't want to do it like that. Oh well, let's just do it like this. Like that, like that, like that, and then put one there, and then go ahead and fill in, how many do we have left? 4. Let's see if we can put them here, and then here, here, and here. So let's put our casing back on. And let's see if our heat is still dropping, which is fine. Let's flip the switch and see if the heat is still going up. The heat is still going up. Wow. Okay, let's shut this thing down. So the option to fix that, if I remember correctly, is to actually make the reactor bigger. I don't think this reactor can handle the HEP fuel, so we might have to expand this out to the black, which would be a 5x5, or we might have to move this all together. So I tell you what, we're going to end the episode here just because we've been having fun, and you basically got the basics of the beginning part. So we'll get into some more of the different types of fuels and how they combine to form each other, if that made sense. But you know what I mean. But eventually we'll make a nuke, right? That's what we're headed for. So this was part 1. It might be a part 2 and 3. But we'll see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click that like button. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button because we got a lot of cool things coming up. I don't want you guys to miss it. So yeah, click that like button or click the subscribe button. And yeah, this has been episode 26. I'll see you next time.